Good morning, dear students. Today I will discuss about design of axially loaded compression member. Let us look at the steps first. First, you assume that sigma AC is equal to 80 MPa for single angle channel I section and calculate the gross area A from the formula A is equal to axial load divided by the sigma AC. Now remember, this 80 MPa is valid only for this as I have mentioned, single angle channel and I section. For heavy load and the built up section, sigma AC is equal to 110 MPa. Sigma AC means the allowable working stress in compression. Step number 2, choose a trial section from the steel table. Step number 3, find the effective length L effective. So this is the table which you should note it down, and you remember that if the compression member has both ends hinge or pin, then the effective length is equal to L. If both ends are fixed, then it is 0.5 into L. If one end hinge and one end fixed, then 0.8 into L. And one end fixed and other end free, then it is 2 into L, where L is the length of the compression member. Step number 4 is you have to find the slenderness ratio lambda is equal to effective length by the minimum radius of gyration. That is, the notation is R mean. So in the table there will be Rxx and Ryy value will be given in the book, steel book. So from that the minimum value you have to take for the R mean, that is the minimum radius of gyration. Step number 5, with this slenderness ratio just now we have found out, you have to find the sigma AC dash, that is the allowable stress in compression, by interpolation from the IS 800. So that table I have given you, please look at over here. I have given a screenshot of it. IS 800, this is article 4.4.1. So for Fy equal to 250 MPa, this table is given in IS 800. So first you read the left two columns. So it starts from lambda value equal to 10 and goes till 180, and sigma AC starts from 150 and then goes till 33. So same thing, it has been continued just by the right hand part of the table. So after the lambda value of 180, it starts with lambda equal to 190 with sigma AC equal to 30, and it ends at lambda equal to 350 with the value as 10 MPa in the sigma AC. So from this table you have to find the value of sigma AC dash by interpolation. How to do it? I will explain it with an example. So, and please remember over here, this is the value of sigma AC, whatever you are getting it from this table after interpolation. But if it is given for a single angle discontinuous strut or compression member, then the sigma AC value, whatever you will obtain, you have to multiply it by 0.8 and then take that value. So please keep it in mind. I repeat, for a single angle discontinuous strut, the value you get it from this table after interpolation, you have to multiply it by 0.8 and then that value you have to use. Let us go back to the step. Last step is the safe load carried by the member. You can find it out by the value of the sigma AC dash multiplied by the area of the compression member. Here you remember also this table which is given in IS 800, and it is article number 3.7.1, that is the maximum value of slenderness ratio is given. So case number 1 is if the member, that is the compression member, carrying the compressive load only from the dead load and the live load, then the maximum slenderness ratio is allowed is 180, correct? Second case is if the member carries compressive load from the wind and the earthquake load, then maximum value of slenderness ratio should be allowed can be 250. And the last one, that if a member carries tension but subjected to the reversal of stress due to the wind and earthquake load, then in that case you can take the maximum value of slenderness ratio as 350. So this table, this value also you remember. So this will also be needed for check while doing the designing. And see, I have put one star mark and put it, it is a special note, that is permissible stress in member subjected to wind and earthquake, it should be increased by 33 1/3%. So this is also another very important thing that you should keep it in mind while designing a compression member. Let us see one question. A single angle strut ISA 50 by 50 by 6 millimeter of a roof truss is 1.06 meter long. It is connected by one rivet at each end. Determine the safe load it can carry. Now some values are given. A means that is the area, cross sectional area 4.68 centimeter square, R mean 0.96 centimeter, Fy 250 MPa. Here you see in the question already the value of R mean, that is it is directly given as 0.96 centimeter, but while you will seeing the table you will see that there will be Rxx and Ryy. They may be equal, they may be different. So if they are different, so you have to take the least value, but in this question it is already directly provided for you the value of the R mean. Let us start how to solve the problem. Step number 1, see, according to the question, first we have to find that what is the effective length of the compression member. So L effective will be L, that is 1.06 meter. So if we multiply it by 1000, then it will be 1060 millimeter. How we have taken the effective length as the original length of the member? Because in the question it is mentioned that the both ends are connected by rivets, so it will act as a hinge and the pin joint. So please refer to the table where I have mentioned that what is the effective length of a column, how you should decide. So in case of both end hinge, it is the original length of the member, the effective length will be the original length of the member. So this is step number 1. Second step, now we have to find the slenderness ratio. Slenderness ratio is equal to L effective by R mean. Now R mean is already given. So what is L effective? 1060. What is R mean? That is the 9.6 centimeter. Sorry, 9.6 millimeter. Please see the question again. Their R mean value was given as 0.96 centimeter. But here we should convert it in millimeter. Why? Because effective length also we have converted in millimeter. So our mean value also we should convert it in millimeter, otherwise it will be wrong. So 0.96 centimeter equal to, if you multiply it by 10, then you will get millimeter, 9.6 millimeter. So please take care of the units in case of the theory of structure, because units are very, very important. So from here we get the lambda value as 110.42. Now see, here I have written as it is less than 180, hence okay. You remember the table I was telling that you have to remember that what are the maximum value of the slenderness ratio is allowed. So in this problem it is okay as it is less than 180, and if nothing is mentioned we will assume that the column is carrying only the dead load and the live load only. Now see, I will explain you about the interpolation table. So we have got the value of lambda as equal to 110.42. Now this is the table. Okay, so see, I have marked it with a red color, that is which two values we should consider. So lambda lies between 110 and 120. What value we have got? 110.42. So it comes between 110 and 120. What is sigma SC value? Sigma SC value is 72 and 64. So please note it down in your notebook, and then I will show you how to do the interpolation, and by interpolation we can find the value of sigma SC from lambda. Now see, I have written down lambda is 110, 120, sigma SC in MPa 72 and 64. Now see how you should do the interpolation. So from 120 minus 10, that means equal to 10. So for this much change in lambda, what is the value of sigma SC changing? It is going from 64 to 72. So what is the difference? 72 minus 64, 8. 8 is the difference. That means I want to tell you that for the value change in 10, in the slenderness ratio. Sigma SC value changes by 8, the difference I am talking about. Okay, so now what is our value of lambda? 110.42. So 110.42 minus 110, that means how much? That is 0.42. The subtraction is value. So how much it will be? It is the simple arithmetic how we used to do in some 4th or 5th standard. So that is 8 divided by 10 multiplied by 0.42. Because I repeat the process once again, for 10 value change in the slenderness ratio, the difference of sigma SC is 8. So for 0.42 change in lambda slenderness ratio, the value change in sigma SC will be 0.336. So, but this is the difference. Please remember, this is not the value. This is the whatever we are doing, that is the difference. So, for lambda equal to 110.42, sigma SC value will be 72 minus 0.336. That gives us 71.664 MPa. Why we are subtracting the value of 0.336? Look at the table once again. Sigma SC value decreases as slenderness value increases. I repeat, 110 से जब 120 हुआ वैल्यू, सो सिग्मा एसी का वैल्यू 72 से घट के कितना हुआ? 64 हो गया. Correct? So we are going 110.42. So that means it is more than 110. So the value of sigma SC will also reduce. So here we have done 72 minus 0.336, that is 71.664. Okay, so as it is single angle discontinuous strut, so the permissible compressive stress will be sigma AC dash is equal to 0.80 sigma AC. So the next step is 0.80 multiplied by sigma AC, we have got 71.664. So that gives the value of sigma AC dash equal to 57.33 MPa. So now the last step is the safe load carried by the compression member P will be sigma AC dash into A. A is given, already given in the question. So if you put the value over here, so we are getting the final answer as 32.56 into 10 cube Newton. Before concluding, I just want to tell you, please take care of the units. Whatever value is given in the question, do not directly put it. Just check their unit and then you do the calculation. If you have any doubt about this topic, please ask me in the comment section. You can email me also, and whatever topics or if more number of numericals you want me to solve it on my channel, so please write whatever comment you feel like, please write it over here. And if you like my video, please write that comment also. And thank you for your time and thanks for watching. Please keep watching my other videos also on steel structure.